Tara, thank you so much for joining me from South Carolina.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to speak with you today.
Yes, it is. It's fun to get together. And the last time we worked together, you were in California
Yes,
in
I
Orange
was.
County. Yes.
Yes.
And now you're all the way on the other side of the country in the
Yes, we are.
Carolinas. Can you tell us your personal story about how that happened?
What really brought us out here, my oldest son, he's 21 this year.
Oh.
He's an autistic young adult.
Mm.
He's considered high functioning, but we know that we will always be financially responsible for him, and he really wants independence. And we knew that was going to be something that was going to be difficult for him to do in Southern California. You know how just expensive it is just to live independently there. So we knew we were going to leave California, and we were looking at all of the typical places Southern Californians look to move to, Texas or, Nevada, Colorado. And we just kind of kept moving our sites across the country. And I enjoyed being along the coast. We lived in Orange County for 22 years. I just couldn't see myself being in the Midwest. So we
Mm.
looked at the East Coast. And with the East Coast, we knew we would not do well in the Northeast because we had lived in Southern California for 40 plus years. And so we were looking at the Southeast and didn't know enough about Florida or Georgia, but we had friends who had gone to college in North Carolina. And I had an old friend who our boys went to preschool with moved to South Carolina. So we thought, well, let's look at North and South Carolina. Let's see what that has to offer. And we were very pleased with what we found. Home prices, the cost of living, the cost of just everything, gas, everything. And so we had our sights set. We were either going to go to Charlotte or Columbia. And we actually flew out one weekend and placed 12 offers on both states. And Columbia took our offer. Charlotte, we were going to be in a bidding war. So we are just like, well, that says it. Columbia it is. And so we headed to Columbia. Now I was practicing real estate at the time for a brokerage called Harcourts, which is based in Orange County. And when I went back to work and I said, I'm sad, I'm leaving. My family and I are moving to South Carolina. We were all heartbroken because I loved my group, my office, my team. I loved my career, and cried. And then the next day, one of the managing partners in my office called and he said, "Hey, what are you going to do when you get to South Carolina?" I said, "I don't know. Maybe I'll get my license there. I don't have any idea." And he said, "Well, would you be open to starting a Harcourts brand in the South? We don't have presence in the Southeast." So I said, "Holy smokes, sure." I had no idea how to, I wasn't a broker. I was just a real estate agent, so I quickly got my broker's license. We bought a franchise and I became a Harcourts business owner here in Columbia. And we've been here, yes, with this office for the last 4.5 years now.
Wow, what a story.
Yes, it was a lot
Yeah.
happened those first 365 days. A lot of changes.
That's very exciting. It's almost like the stars aligned for you to
Yes.
own a brokerage when
Yes.
you hadn't even planned to own your own business at that point.
Mhm.
You were, like you said, a real estate agent in Orange
Yep.
County, successful, working with a great team, and they saw something in you.
Yes, yes. And to this
Wow.
day, I cannot disappoint them now. I have to make them proud from here on out. So,
And
yes.
that's really nice because they saw that in you, and now you expand your own career and your
Yes.
business.
Yeah.
Very nice. And it
That
sounds
was
like
fun.
you did a long research period where you explored almost all 50 states or 49 states to relocate to for a
Yes.
family personal reason, but
Yep.
it ended up being a personal and financial decision.
Yes. In the end, it ended up. Yes.
Well, we're very fortunate that there's 50 states and a lot of options out there, right?
Yes. Yes. Lots
Yeah.
of growth here too. Lots of
Oh,
growth here.
good. Good. Yeah, tell me about the Carolinas. I've never actually personally been.
Oh, you need to come. So, it was a bit of a culture shock, I mean, coming from Southern California where everything is so fast paced. I remember moving here and just trying to line up vendors to come and, refinish our floors or paint the house. It was an adjustment to slow down because everything here the South is a lot slower, if you will, than Southern California. So, and there's a lot of yes, ma'ams, and we'll get right on that, ma'am. And I wasn't used to being addressed as a ma'am. And so a lot of Southern hospitality.
Mhm.
And right away, people knew you ain't from around here, are you? I guess I just oozed, foreign West Coast at the time, and I still do get a lot of people who recognize that I'm not traditionally from the South, but I love the food. I've put on about 20 pounds because it's everything is fried or baked, or it's amazing, Nancy. I love the slower pace of life. It was the first year doing business here was a challenge because here it's not. It was different in Southern California. We were big with cold calls, and we made a lot of business that way. Here, the first year I tried to do business here like I had done in Southern California, and it didn't work because
Mm.
people here, they want to know you and trust you before they give you any business. So
Wow.
it took me a year to develop the trust before I started closing deals. My first two deals were only given to me because somebody vouched for me and told that person, yeah, she's good. You can trust her. So that was a bit of a learning experience too. But I am, if I could have been born in the South, I would have. I absolutely love our climate is similar to Southern California, except we do have some humidity, but it's tolerable. We do have more four seasons than you do in California. We had snow in January, which was beautiful. But we do have a lot of warmer months to where you could still, there's lakes, and I'm 2 hours from the ocean, and they're 2 hours from the Appalachian Mountains. So you still have a lot of the same things that we did in Southern California. We could still be to the beach. We could still be to the mountains. We could be down to Charleston. We can be up into Charlotte, Atlanta. I mean, and then the American history here. I mean, it's legitimate. Like this is where America was born. And I've
Right.
really enjoyed exploring the East Coast with my children. Some of these homes are built here in the 1600s. Like we don't have that kind of history in Southern California. So that has just been to tour these homes and these buildings and be where American history was built has just been so exciting. I'm a little bit of a history nerd as well.
Oh, that's fun. Yes, history is really a great topic, and the fact that you can be right where it's happened.
Yes.
It sounds like you're almost describing being in a new country. The
Yes.
difference from the West Coast to where you are now is it's
Yes.
different culture,
Yes.
different pace, people do
Yes.
business differently. And it's so interesting because I've heard that from other people saying that Southern California is so fast paced. I
Yes.
always thought traditionally that New York was the fast paced place and the West Coast was relaxed, but actually,
Oh,
the West
yeah.
Coast is not that relaxed anymore, maybe.
I think they're right underneath New York. So
Right.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is we've had, I mean, about every fifth person I've met here is a transplant. So there's so many people coming from the Northeast, so many people coming from the West Coast. They are coming here because of just the quality of life is better than where they were. The weather is better. Retirement taxes, there's lots of benefits here if you're a retiree.
Oh,
Business tax is so much better to own a business here than it was in California. We have a large military community because we have a couple of very large military bases here. So it's very friendly to our military community that want to retire here or reside here after their service. So it's just a completely different way of life.
that's wonderful. It sounds like a great place and a
Yes.
lot to explore. Like you said, the
Yes.
natural beauty, the mountains, the ocean. and lots to do recreationally.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, very much
And
so.
snow in January is not so bad, right?
No, and it's not crazy snow either. I mean, it was like 7 inches, it just fun snow. I
Oh,
mean, and because you don't get it too often here in the South, they shut everything down, which is not wonderful too. So you get to kind of enjoy having a snow day, if you will. But
mm,
it wasn't, like New York, miles high, nothing like that at all. It was just 4 days of a blanket of white and just fun. It was wonderful.
that's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, great. So you've moved about 4.5 years ago, you said?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And what did you find was hard to adjust to the new place? Because it sounds like mostly you've really enjoyed it.
Yes.
What would you say you miss about California or wish you knew?
Um, good questions. The biggest thing for us, because we have three children, my oldest with autism, and then my two, I have a 15 and an 11-year-old. My biggest concern was moving them across the country.
Mm,
How would they adjust? Would they make friends? Would they like their schools and all of these things? And to my blessing, really, they adjusted very well. They actually love their schools here more. We were able to afford private schools, so they're getting better education here than we had in Orange County. And they're thriving. My kids were absolutely thriving. My oldest has found a job working at USC, which it's very hard for special needs adults to find jobs, but we're also a college town, if you will. The University of South Carolina is right 8 minutes from my office downtown. So he has a part-time job and he works in the mess hall cleaning tables and stuff. So it's been a blessing for him to actually have employment as an adult with autism. I transitioned. I right away. I just jump in and make friends. So I've loved making new friends and new connections. The hardest thing, however, was the transition for my husband. Now, for
mm.
him, it was difficult because we actually left his parents and he felt bad about leaving. His parents are in their 80s. So that was a little bit of something he's still trying to wrestle with, if that was a good idea or not. Although his sister has been amazing and is taking very good care of them daily. And the other transition he had, his job when COVID hit, his job was able to let him become remote. So he still actually has his California job. His hours are a little different here, because of the 3 hour time difference. But because he works from home, he struggled making new friends or having a bit of a social life and so that was difficult for him. But I think he's kind of come around. He's met some parents during the different activities at the schools and stuff, but he was the hardest one to transition. I thought it would be the kids and I thrived. My husband took a little while before he was able to be comfortable here.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Like making such a big move, you never
Yes.
know how it impacts the whole family dynamic until you're
Yes.
there,
Yes.
right? Yes. And while it's nice to be a digital nomad and
Yeah.
California job in another state, which a lot of people these days are doing,
Yes.
it's also, like you said, difficult to connect with new people.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you and your husband do things like join a country club or a golf club or sporting
Yes.
club?
Yeah. So we can. Him and I are yin and yang, if you will. I am very social. I am kind of an extrovert and he is not. He is an introvert and he is not very social. So
Mm.
I'm involved in about 15, 16 different groups and organizations, PTAs. And so I kind of drag him around to a lot of those events. And for him, that's enough. So he doesn't need to be in a community or in a he's like, that's enough. I'm your plus one to all these things. I'm good. But yes, you can. Golf is huge out here. There's so many beautiful courses. And you can be as social as you want or as antisocial as you want.
Right. Yeah. I think I've heard that from people, especially if they retire,
Yes.
that if they move to a different place to get out of LA or whatnot, sometimes it can be hard to make friends. So joining a private
Yes.
club could be a good, easy way to meet a lot of people.
Very much so. A lot. In fact, my folks who are retired, we moved them 2 years after we moved here. So they've been here 2 years. And
Oh,
yes, they stay active. I mean, in their church community, in different clubs. My dad golfs every week. So yes, if you're retired, that's the first way to make some friends is to join a lot of those different groups. And there's a lot of different senior groups, if you will, for
nice.
different types of activities. Yes.
Wonderful,
Mhm.
wonderful. So let's get to our favorite topic, real
Yes.
estate.
Let's do it. Yes.
What does residential real estate look like in your area? Price
So
wise and
price,
variety?
sure. I mean, everything. So we are in Columbia, which is pretty much the center of the state, and it's also the capital of the state as well. So
Mm,
here we have pick what you like. I guess our medium home price, if you're wanting to look for a nice, say brick single family home, 4 beds, 3 baths on maybe half of an acre in a beautiful community, you're probably looking at spending about 500 to 750,000. That's will get you a nice, yeah. If you want something on Lake Murray, kind of waterfront, you're looking at probably 750 to 1.2, depending on size. We also have a lot of historical estates and things around here that can be in the 750 to $900,000 range. We have a lot of new builds going up in different areas, and so a typical like tract home, 2,500 to 3,200 square feet, would probably run you between 275 to 375.
oh,
So
that's it?
yes, that's
Oh,
it
for a brand new home,
for a new
275
home.
to
Yes, ma'am.
375? Because
Yeah,
that would be very appealing for a lot of people from
very
LA,
much.
Orange County,
Yes.
because it's not going to require repairs for the next 20 years,
Right, right.
right?
Yeah, we have a lot of people flocking in and coming in and taking advantage of those new homes in that price point.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. And how far would those homes be from the center of town?
You could be you could be as close as 15 to 20 minutes from downtown Columbia. I would say 20 minutes to probably Elgin, which is just the northeast side of Columbia. You could be as far as maybe 45 minutes if you go deeper into past Lexington on the other side. So that's kind of as far as you would need to or have to go. If you want a lot of land, you'd probably want to go a little further out. There's lots of opportunities for people to have acreage, lots
Mhm.
of land. But yeah, not too far. We have several big hospitals, so we always have folks coming in, to work at the hospitals. We've got a new car manufacturing plant, Scout Motor Group. There's a couple other big manufacturing plants in the area, so there's lots of opportunity for employment out here as well, depending on the
Oh,
industry that you're in. Yes.
great. It sounds like people should come out and check out South Carolina
Yes.
and
Yes.
take a look at the options. You can get a historic home, you can
Yep.
get new construction, and you can actually get something for $500,000.
Yes. A
Like
lot of
this,
things for 500,000. Lots of
right?
choices for that price point.
Right. And if you wanted to get something more luxury, closer to 1 million, it would
Yes.
be quite a lot of house, or what we used to think, $1 million house is,
Yes.
right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
In California, 1 million is almost like a very basic budget.
Yes.
Where you are now, it's a nice luxury budget.
It is definitely. Yes.
Wonderful. Wow. And of course, that, would be an incentive for somebody thinking about retirement or even
Yes.
younger,
Yes.
like people with
Yes.
families.
Yes.
Yes.
Very much so. It's a great place to raise families. There's Lexington, which is it reminds me of Orange County, if you will,
Mm.
with the schools and the activities and just the lifestyle, outdoor lifestyle, soccer moms. So there's different parts of Columbia that have a very Southern California feel. And I always tell people to what benefited us is when we found our realtor here, she was my friend who used to live in Orange County when our boys went to preschool together. So she
Right.
already spoke our language, if you will. So it's
Yes.
always beneficial if you're going somewhere new to find somebody who understands what you've already kind of had or used to. Because I was worried about moving out here and not having a Target, or a grocery store. Like I didn't know I wanted to still have a lot of the same amenities close by. So she was able to tell us, okay, this neighborhood, that neighborhood, and really kind of point out where we should focus our attention when we were looking, because she already had an idea of how our quality of life was, where we're coming from. So that was very beneficial.
That is beneficial. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to interview you.
Yes,
You helped a lot of Southern Californians or Californians move to your area.
yes,
Yes.
yes,
Oh,
yes,
and
I
where
have.
people are coming from? Are they coming from mostly the Bay Area or?
They're coming from all over. Well, the ones that I have moved here personally, from Los Angeles County and Orange County.
Mm,
Though that's who I have brought with me because they've watched my journey and we want a piece of that, and they've followed me or they follow me on social media and then they come this way.
nice.
That's yes, but I know a lot of folks coming from yeah, usually it's more Southern California. I haven't met any, have I just maybe haven't met anyone from Central or Northern California yet.
Mm,
Washington, Oregon, we've had some people follow us from there. And really a lot of Midwest and Northeast, they're coming in droves as well.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah, it's really important to get somebody that understands moving to the area and some of the
Yes.
challenges they might face, or
Yes.
and you would give them recommendations, I'm sure, for
Yes.
contractors or
All
service
of the even
providers.
just moving companies. I mean, I remember being sticker shocked when I found out how much it costs to move across the country, to move your
Oh,
personal items across the country. Yes, even just little details like that it have been I've walked the walk, and
yes.
now I can tell them these are all the mistakes I've made. Don't do
Mhm.
these things. So
Yes.
yes, there is a benefit to kind of paving the way for those to follow you here.
Yeah, and having done so recently, like you didn't move
Yes.
in the
No.
90s, because
No, no.
some people are like, yeah, I moved here in 97. Well,
Oh,
those
yes.
prices don't make any sense anymore. And
No,
the
absolutely not.
right, the
Yeah.
world has changed and is changing quickly.
Yes.
So what does it cost to move from Southern California to South Carolina?
Well, I'll tell you, the first bid was $25,000. That's how much it cost to move our belongings across the country. So once I got that first bid, I quickly got rid of half of everything we owned and
Mm,
sold it, or just gave it away in California and only moved our necessities, if you will. And that got us down to $15,000 to move it across the country. And then I just bought new couches and we just bought some new furniture and stuff here because it just made more sense than, so that right there was a cost I did not expect, it costing tens of thousands of dollars to move across the country, but it does. Yeah.
that makes sense. You can just move your heirlooms and really
Yes.
important items, not just
Yeah.
everything.
and
Yeah.
and and since doing it, so we hired a company, put it in trucks, and had a moving company. But I've helped a Californian group, a family last year. They did pods. They put their belongings in pods, and they did a move that way, which saved them a considerable amount of money. So there's other ways you can get your stuff here.
Right.
And I've learned that with how everybody else has come, what the best way for that individual was to transition here.
Excellent. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're a great resource. And I'm so happy that I met you 5 years ago when we
Same.
worked together. That was so
Yes.
nice.
Yes.
We stayed in touch. So, how can my clients or viewers get in touch with you directly if they'd like to explore properties or talk to you in person?
Yes, of course. Well, I would say, first of all, call Nancy because
Thank you.
Nancy can get you connected with me because I would love to give Nancy the referral. So that's how I would want them to get through to me, Nancy, is through to you, and they can reach out to me. My company is Harcourts Carolinas. We're based in Columbia, South Carolina, and we will take very, very good care of your people, Nancy. Treat them like our own family.
Thank you. And the company's name is Harcourts with an S,
Yes.
Carolinas with an
Here,
S,
that exactly. Yes,
right?
ma'am. That's
Because
it.
you deal with both states.
Yes. Yes, you can. We're here to serve you.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for doing this interview with me. I'm
Thank
going to
you.
put it on YouTube and get it out there on social media where everybody loves to find new information.
Thank you, Nancy. It's been a pleasure. I love this series. I watched some of your other ones too because it's wonderful to see where you can go because a lot of people are wanting to go. So it's been a
Yeah.
wonderful series you've got going.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I figured as real estate agents, it's our job to know where people are moving to and
Yes.
where people are moving from. So
Yes.
this helps us and it helps our buyers and sellers.
Yes. Thank you, Nancy.
Okay, thank you.